Okay, everybody, this is the last installment, I think, of the occult series, and I'm going to be talking about plant medicine. So, yeah, it was kind of inevitable. You know, when we're talking about internal chemistry, we're talking about thought and intent, and then we're combining that with the use of an external source of basically altering a mental state using an actual tool. It's sort of inevitable to discuss, and this one's a little more subjective than all the previous ones. Most of the things I've covered prior to this doesn't really step on any toes, but the things I'm going to say in this video, which is not even like controversial or anything, and I'm being, I think, relatively diplomatic, but you know, somebody could definitely get butthurt about it. And what are my thoughts on plant medicine? Well, first of all, could it be used for occult purposes? Yeah, 100%, like without a doubt. Absolutely altering a person's mental state to achieve a desired result is doable, and it's fun to actually see this used in the realm of science. There are plenty of chemists and whatnot who have made profound discoveries under the influence of such compounds, even though that flies in the face of what the scientific method is all about, which is, you know, making clear-minded, objective observations and then testing them. But it's been done. That's for sure. What are my thoughts on using it, though, is a whole other matter. I firmly believe there are two schools of thought when it comes to progressing spiritually. There is, and I'm borrowing this from Nietzsche, and I'm changing it around a little bit, and that is, I believe firmly that there is a Dianean school and an Apollonian school. And I'm of the mind, and this is subjective, that all the things that you can get through, you know, and again, people are going to get mad, like, what? No, you can't even be spiritual if you've never been in a K-hole, man. You mean to tell me you've never, like, gone to New Mexico and paid a shaman to have you lick a toad? Like, no, I flippin' haven't. Sorry to say that, everybody who's disappointed. I'm not averse to the process. I actually love hearing stories about it, personally. Stories particularly about ayahuasca, about pure DMT, which the main ingredient in ayahuasca is DMT. Even ketamine, I've heard interesting stories about it. I've heard some wonderful accounts about the progress that people have made under the influence of that and of LSD and etc. and all these other compounds. However, I think that the media in particular, they love to showcase all the positives, all the net positives that can be garnered by using these compounds, and how fun it is, and oh, this comedian partied with aliens, and this playboy billionaire went to the 9th dimension, and it makes it seem like it's something everyone should do, just for fun or to become a better person immediately without much given thought. But as I was saying before, I think there are two schools of thought, the Apollonian and the Dianean school. The Dianean school makes use of compounds to further their spiritual and psychological progress. And the Apollonian school, the school of the sun, does not. And I am firmly entrenched in the Apollonian school in the sense that I sincerely believe that not only can you attain all the same results without using compounds, that you can manufacture a lot of these compounds yourself in here, but that you can actually get stronger and better experiences by not using compounds. What I mean by this, and by the way, when I say compounds, I'm not talking about chamomile or mugwort. I'm talking about psychedelics specifically. I'm talking about hallucinogens. I'm talking about vastly mind-altering things. I'm not such a teetotaler that it's like, you know, oh, if you use caffeine as a pick-me-up, like, no, I'm specifically talking about things that dramatically alter your conscious state. I think that you can absolutely attain the exact same things just with meditation and true progress. And for me, it's also a question of, and this is very subjective, it's a question of earning those experiences. What I mean by that, I'll give you a great example. I love The Matrix, when it came out, I thought it was a great movie. But there was one thing that always kind of like, it just felt unpleasant to me, which was, I know a lot of people love that scene where Neo, he plugs himself in for like 5 seconds and he goes, I know Kung Fu. And I just think, like, where's the enjoyment in that? Like, why learn something if you're going to know it instantaneously? It just seems pointless. Like, to me, learning something is the pleasant part about knowing something. It's not knowing it, it's learning it. It's the journey, not to sound new agey. And so the actual progress of learning about yourself and about reality and your place in it through steadfast commitment to the ideals of whatever ideology you commit to, I think that's far more rewarding than just taking some kind of powder or smoking something and then just, I totally met God the other day. Like, and not only that, I think it's dangerous. If people don't prepare for it properly, there's a reason why there are shamanic traditions in the cultures that make use of these substances, because there has to be a prerequisite for taking it. Whereas, with modernity, what the idea of the matter is, it's like, oh yeah, here's a sacred plant that grows in South America that'll help you understand the nature of the divine. We're going to go to Burning Man, maybe have an orgy and take it. Like, it almost subverts the intended purpose of the substance. So, yeah, I'm very skeptical of it, and again, people who are very inclined to have a knee-jerk reaction to that, like it's just the greatest thing ever, most of the time it's because for them either it did help them and they think it'll help everyone, which is conceited, or more likely for them it's an enjoyable vice and they don't like it being criticized. And again, that's coming from a perspective where I'm okay with people using it. I'm not against it. In fact, I think it should be legal to use, in fact. But I just think that the long, hard path is better. I really do. Because really it's the things you pick up on that path, the little things that you would completely miss if you used a substance to complement that are more important. It's like, I think the idea of transporters, like Star Trek style transporters, it's kind of neat. But would you like to watch Dumb and Dumber if they could have just teleported to Aspen? Would you be excited about going on a road trip with your friends if the road trip was 3 seconds? Well, your whole life is this journey to understanding yourself and the divine, or it can be, and trying to knock that out in one afternoon in the desert or whatever, I don't think it does that experience justice. I think if anything, it diminishes that experience. It cheapens it. But that is just my opinion. Like, share, subscribe, keep asking questions. Bye.